What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Oleta Adams, as well as a very sleepy Luca. And we're returning to Moving On, 1995. Thank you again to Kim for providing the Oleta material. And the next track is You Need to Be Loved. So, yeah, it speaks to necessity. Now, in the context, I think, of a subjective assessment, nevertheless, there is a sense, or at least an indication, that the person being addressed is in need of love. Now, that could be just because they are so compelling, they are so sympathetic, it's about their character and behavior. It could also be part of a bi-directional story. You need to be loved because you're showing me love, and this is a reciprocal and probably romantic engagement. So yeah, given that a lot of her songs are about love, I would expect it to be in the realm of romantic love, and yet a lot of Oleta's songs that I've heard so far, they can have complicated qualities when it comes to that romantic love. It could be a love with a difficulty, love with a separation, love with an absence. Now there are some that are just, I think, more straightforward and loving, but yeah, it sounds like there's a desire to manifest this love because, at least by implication, whatever's happening now, even if they are getting some love, maybe they're not getting enough. And I think even more directly, the implication is that they're not getting the love they deserve. So there's some situation which has to be rectified. Now, that could relate to the past of the other person. They've had their heart broken a number of times, and now the speaker, the narrator of the song, is saying, well, you need to be loved because you deserve it. So it could be none of those things, of course. I'll try to catch what I can on first listen. This is Oleta Adams. The track is You Need to Be Loved, and it's from her 1995 album, Moving On, which feels like it could be relevant for the song.
Somebody tell me what's all the fuss about. If there's a problem, I know we'll work it out. I'm not here to judge you, and I won't place the blame. My mind is open. I'm just glad you came to me. This thing is easy to see. You need to be loved like a child in the cold, with love and heart surrounding you and someone to hold. They give you back the confidence to find your way home, to joy, to peace, to love. You're like a flower, the part of rain and light. It starts to wither, the beauty fades from sight. But deep down under the soil and faded leaves, our bodies growing, some tenderness, all it needs to wake the beauty that sleeps. You need to be loved like a child in the cold, and loving heart surrounding you, someone to hold. To give you back the confidence to find your way home, to joy, to peace, to love. There's nothing wrong with the way you were created. It's all a part of the master's plan. He doesn't make mistakes. You got just what it takes to make you into back together. To joy, to peace, to love. You need to be loved like a child out in the cold. Someone to hold. Give you back the confidence. Find your way home. To joy, to peace, to love. You need to be
Yeah, it's a really sweet song, and lyrically, I think it was a couple of the things I mentioned in advance, though I think maybe one or two other details that I didn't foresee, which is to say, it sounds like she's talking to a guy who has been through some heartbreak, some struggle, some pain, and has been in a bad way, has been down. And she's saying this, she's seeing this, and saying, you know, you're like a child out in the cold. You need someone to wrap you up in warm love and someone to hold. She does seem to be part of the story herself, because she's saying, you know, whatever's happened, I'm glad that life essentially brought you my way. But it's not just from the point of her being fulfilled with love that she's saying this. She's saying, like, whatever happens, I want to be part of what brings you back home, home to joy, home to feeling good, home to being loved. So it really is about her sympathy toward and devotion to this guy, but I do think she's also part of the story, because again, she's saying, like, you know, whatever's happened, however many heartbreaks, you know, I want to be part of that healing process and to bring you back to joy. But I'm just glad that those circumstances, whatever they were and, you know, however painful they might have been, they brought us to this point. They brought you to me. She's also, I think, and this fits with the Sonics, meaning it's this smooth R&B type of tune and has a very easy feel to it in that regard. But there's a bit of gospel flavor too, especially in the vocals, but even just some of the Sonics or sonic atmosphere more generally. It's kind of like R&B meets gospel. And in that regard, she's saying, you know, there's nothing wrong with the way you were made. You were made the way you should be. It's not because you were not good enough that those things didn't work out. It's not because, you know, you're just destined to feel pain and heartbreak in your life. This is all part of a master plan. And again, knowing that Oleta, her faith is part of her music and her lyrics and her themes, it feels like that is sort of talking in a more overtly religious sense. The idea that, look, you know, you were made the way you're supposed to be. You do have the divine in you, and this is all part of this teleological master plan, which again has brought you to me. So yeah, that was a layer I wasn't thinking about in advance, but it makes perfect sense in the larger context of her music. I think she sounds amazing vocally. I think there's some other supporting vocalists, including some male vocals. There was a moment where I wasn't sure if I was mishearing that, but I think it's some other female vocals as well as some male vocals in some crucial points. Maybe it's layered Oleta vocals, but yes, her lead vocal is incredible. A couple big extensions, especially one in the second half of the tune where she just kept going and going, and then really had some rich vibrato at the end of it. Also, the way she comes back down and sort of parachutes with some agility and does that classic like R&B tonal shifting. So yeah, very appropriate to the genres in question, and also reflective of just her vocal power and elegance in a more specific manner. So yeah, a very nice tune, a sweet tune, a lovely tune, and a very impressive vocal tune. So yeah, very much in her middle lane, I would say, as I've come to know it. Once again, thank you to Kim for the Oleta Journey. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.